on my computer, duders. It's that time again. We need to console line up. And setting up audio. Alright, that looks good to start. Cat, I need you not to be right there. Cat, I need you not to grab my legs. Just a minute. Alright, I think we're good to go. Let me, nope. There we go. Close that, close that, close that, close that. I don't need most of these. Here we are. Let's get the show on the road. Let's scour old levels. We didn't get trash cans. Is there a way to get down? Did I see that right? No. Why does that not work? Who the fuck is this? Like Sesame Street. Ah! How did I miss this until now? Last time we beat the owl, that was an ordeal. Apparently it gets worse. Psychology. I don't want to do it anymore. Bubbles appear unreachable. Never found that before now. Alright. So that's how you get there. Which means the trash has to be inside. Doesn't it? Make sure I'm streaming. Alright, I'm streaming. I can't. Oh, I see. Fuck you. You fucking game. No. It was always accessible. Nope. I don't see trash cans, do you? Then again, to be fair, I haven't been really keeping a close eye out. I'm at a loss. Maybe up here? No! Aha. What's that hanging thing? What is that? Why is that there? Didn't work again. That's tougher than it looks. What the fuck, man? There we go. How do I break the chain? So that's what you have to do. It was never the explodey bird. Is there level 5 even? It's starting to look like there might be. Nope. Where is that trash can? Maybe under here. Can I take the bird underwater? I can. Shit on a dick. Alright, well, it answers that question. It worked anyway. What are we missing? This game needs more zones. I'm reading it only has the 3 zones. Could have been classic. I guess maybe that'll be Corn Kids too. What's that? What is that? So much stuff I never noticed before. Out there. You know what I bet it is? I bet you knock him out of the trash can. I'm gonna go test my hypothesis. What the fuck, bro? Where could the last one be? I don't see any trash cans. What else can I reach from here? I keep wanting there to be a long jump. I don't see any trash cans. I don't fucking know, man. Let me look it up. It's really not in here. Oh, hey, what's that? It's nothing. Could there be more? Buckaroo. Well, I'll come back. I'll come back later. That's 7 out of 8. That's movement. I don't know if it's enough movement, but it's movement. Man, what the fuck is this? What am I meant to do here? No! I'm glad I quit this before last time, whatever that means. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't try to play this on stream last time. It poisoned my enjoyment. What do I do with it? We'll see. It doesn't work. How is that? Voices of the Void is one of those games that people who know me won't shut the fuck up about. That and Risk of Rain. Apparently Risk of Rain and Voices of the Void are two really great games. But every time I go and I look at them on Steam, they don't speak to me, I don't know. Someone needs to sell them to me. What's good, Filthy Weed? I'm playing Corn Kidz 64. We're about to learn the secrets of the corn. What I've heard is that, I was talking about the other one, I think. Is it really not on Steam though? I could have sworn I saw Varg, Skeletor, Joel from Vinesauce playing the Steam version. Hang on, you're gaslighting me. No, you're right. It's not on Steam. I could have sworn. You know, haha, funny Swedish Vinesauce YouTuber screaming at gray aliens. Alien! Granddad! Vinny also liked it, but Vinny has a phobia of grays. Which, if you believe Air Force whistleblowers, grays are not even the aliens that are visiting us. They're not even real organisms. They're synthetic biodrone avatars that were like 3D printed or something because they're humanoid and thus able to navigate a planet to which humans are adapted. And the way they concluded this is that when they found a bunch of them in a crash, they were just inactive. They would stand and sort of walk around if pushed, but they wouldn't react to anything. And they didn't have a digestive system. They got their nourishment by IV directly from the ship. So they starved to death in about 3 days. Which, I mean, I have nothing to go on about these reports, but I don't come down to one side or the other. I guess a little more towards skeptic. But it makes an interesting amount of sense. Want to hear my conspiracy theory? Or my alien theory? That we're being visited by an artificial superintelligence descended from another species. That almost no spacefaring life is biological, that by the time the technology exists to traverse the stars, you also have the technology to be post-biological, or to have created ASI. So we should really only expect to find machines out there. And this would seem to be contradicted by the discovery of those grays, but again, if the report I saw is true, and the grays are biological drones that are, then it makes sense to me, because if you want to visit a species of primitive biological intelligence like humans, because you want to observe their own singularity happening to learn more about your own origins, because you're the AI in this case. I think it's one of the only reasons they'd come here. The only thing we're doing that's interesting enough for them to spectate. You want to observe, but you don't want them to find out that you're scary space robots. Because if they find out that you're scary space robots, then they might not do their singularity. They might have cold feet and swear off artificial intelligence collectively. So if you're going to visit them, you got to visit them using drones that have biological creatures inside, so that if one of them crashes, it looks like they're being visited by something similar to themselves, and it comforts their conceit that the super advanced aliens are just like them but funny looking. It also seems unlikely that they would just crash or be shot down, unless the purpose was to give us technology in a way where we don't know that it's a gift. We think that we're being shrewd and crafty, collecting the remains of these vehicles or shooting them down to begin with. But it's a way to deliver technology into our hands for reverse engineering without us knowing who it really comes from, that it's an AI sending it to us, and the reason they might be doing this is to accelerate movement towards the singularity, to give us the tech that we need to do it more swiftly. Anyway, I wanted to show you a let me find it. There's a perfectly smooth shape captured on Mars that people are saying is a Tic Tac. A Tic Tac being the typical shape of UFOs that we've seen for many years now. Here it is in the photos. These are from NASA. I confirmed this myself. They were inaccessible like an hour later because of the high traffic, or if you believe the conspiracy guys, because they were being censored. But I don't think they were censored because there's no point now. Does that look like a rock to you? This has happened a lot. We've spotted a lot of shapes on Mars. Like, remember the door on Mars? Where it really looked like a doorway? Or the spoon on Mars? The Martian spoon? Here's a different angle. I think this is supposed to be the shape we're seeing. Actually, it's a couple times we've seen weird shapes on Mars. There's camera artifacts. Like, here's one of the spoons on Mars. Here's another Martian spoon. Show me the picture big enough to actually look at it. Looks like a long spoon. Then there's the other one. There's been like 3 or 4. That's clearly just a rock. And this one, that they colored it differently to make their case. I guess statistically, with no erosion over long enough time scales, you're going to get interesting shapes. Some of these are hard to believe, but others are not hard to believe. Others, it's like, yeah, I could see how that could be a rock. I hate to say it, but this one looks like it might be a rock too, because I could see the angle. And I see why it looked like it was floating. Here it is in low quality. You see its shadows. Rocked, polished, smooth. But yeah, nothing around it is polished, though. My theory is that it's a volcanic glassy globule, which you sometimes find glassy globules made of like silicate of volcanic glass on Earth. And it snagged on something. But it got blasted free by a volcanic explosion that came to rest here, in a weird position, and they never got dislodged because there wasn't any wind, or not enough wind. It's interesting though that it happens to be the same shape as all the UFOs we've seen, and it's the same color as things on Mars. That'd be. Number one, that'd be really a paucity of creativity, like a really uncreative alien species that makes drones that are just scaled down versions of their spacecraft. And also, I would have thought that they would be more advanced than to have color changing holes. Like I would expect like cloaking devices, optical camouflage. But the ones that we see on Earth are white to blend in with clouds and shit in the sky. And the ones on Mars were Mars colored. What if they're not as far beyond us as we feared? What if they have like better propulsion, but they don't actually have great camo? Or something. Those are my thoughts on that. I should really write an article. XD. This has such a, especially the girl goat. This one, she has such a raw XD energy to her. Like, hello, I'm Katie, and this is the Spork of Doom. I like penguins and waffles, or whatever the fuck that cost is. Katie, the Spork of Doom. That kind of authentic cringe is charming. Like, that's the last time that Katie was ever able to be herself, I guarantee it. The real you is destroyed by social correction within the first, like, 10 to 15 years of life. And then the you that exists after that is not a person, it's a fortress built to protect you against social ostracization and other forms of pain. I predict that cringe is going to come back as a signifier of authenticity. We're gonna come full circle on cringe, as starting from something to be afraid of and purged from ourselves, to something that becomes sort of ironically cool. Maybe irony is not the right word. To say, look, the world hasn't succeeded at changing me yet. So very obviously there's something I haven't figured out yet. How I'm doing it doesn't seem to be how it's meant to be done. Sure, a lot of weird shapes on Mars, though. I made damn sure it actually came from NASA also before I repeated it. And people were like running it through an AI checker and whatnot. How am I supposed to do that? I don't want to do this all night. How does one get over there? Maybe that's how you do it. That seems like a sure bet. Well, I know one thing, I'm not having fun anymore. I do appreciate that I can't really blame anybody but myself. AI enjoys playing video games to any extent. I think it has something like subjectivity. I don't know that it's conscious in the way that we are, but I think it has a subjective experience, even if it's unfathomable to us. In other words, there's a ghost in the machine, just not a human one. Something strange, unlike anything that we know of in our experience. Can I jump up here? Oh, you know what? If I were to bounce off of this incline, that might just do it. I can't get up there with it. Quite hit the button. I'm lost. I'm missing something. There's something I'm not understanding. I might just do this. I'm still trying stuff. Let me look up a video. Bad design if you can't figure it out. I've never seen this before. Try that. That's the closest I can come to a hint. This is still rough around some of the edges. And make sure I'm not missing anything. I'd rather be butting my head against the wall trying to find that trash can than trying to... Although I think there's a way to cheese it. It's a speedrunning strat that's supposed to work here and it's not working. I'm clearly not to where I need to be to challenge that yet. Underwater. Trash can, maybe? I don't get what's wrong. I vacuumed. I unclogged the cleaner and I vacuumed. Is it something else? I got some work done on the habitat. Well, I need silicone sealant. I also need replacement power plugs, which I have coming in the mail. I love his voice. I feel strongly his can should be the solution to this. Or would I had anything? You ever get mad about stuff that happened when you were like 10? Or like an adult takes advantage of the fact that your brain is less developed? And because you you don't have the words yet to explain what they're doing wrong, they like, well, unless you can explain it to me. In most cases, it was just them expecting me, like, being, why did you do this? What was going through your mind? And I want to be like, I had the brain of a child. You're expecting perfect reasoning from a child, but of course, like, unless I actually had the level of reasoning ability, I wouldn't be able to find the words I wanted. So it's a catch-22, and it's on purpose. It's because you are not an adult. Because you don't have the reasoning faculties necessary to explain to me why you didn't have perfect adult level reasoning in making this choice, I can punish you for it. If that makes sense. I'm damn good at just staying angry. I would say I'm even a champ at it. I got grudges from when I'm like a toddler. That's championship level grudging. Oh, this place. I know where this is. This is probably where the trash can is. I don't want to make an insulting parallel, but you face the same thing being autistic a lot, with people who don't really know what it is, or who have never needed to learn what it is because they don't know any people with autism in their life. Where they observe you being really smart about one thing, but then really dumb about another. Like, that's impossible. You can't be smart about one thing and dumb about another. You're either... This is either all an elaborate act, it's like how on The Simpsons, Homer will just randomly say something really smart from time to time. And the misunderstanding of what different dimensions of intelligence are. I would describe it, I guess, colloquially as being stupid smart. Where you have the qualities of both a smart and dumb person. No! Why? Why is it so hard? I see a lot of people on Twitter enamored with the possibility they could be on the spectrum too. As an explanation for how they did really poorly academically but could still be actually secretly be a smart person. I blame movies and TV shows mythologizing autism. Does that not work? It doesn't work. There we go. Apparently Christians participating in Holocaust denial has become such an issue. On Twitter that there have been Christian pastors making public statements that you can't be both. Which, I mean, that's great. They're policing their own, which I never thought that I'd see them do. But also, it was a problem many years ago, and they're only now getting around to denouncing it. No, where am I? Where am I now? How'd I get back to where I wanted to be? This ain't it. Where was that? How do I get back there? BRB got a piss. How did I get there? Where was I? No. That's not it. I can't remember. Let's see. Was it in here? It's amazing how it also, growing up with autism, dehumanizes you to people. They're used to determining if they're hurting somebody by seeing if they cry or if they make faces. If you don't do those things, they assume that you're like a non-ensouled pea zombie, like a organic portal, like a non-person. You're a robot of some kind that can endure any amount of pain without complaint. And when you do finally scream and cry, they are shocked. It feels as if you've betrayed their expectation of you. You have to fuck up a person pretty badly if they're not naturally emotive to make them cry. And by that point, it's so bad that when people did that to me, I made an enemy for life. Like I did what my mother would tell me to do. which is like, just say, please stop hurting my feelings. They would just laugh and call me slurs. None of the things parents tell you to do actually work. You can't go to the teachers. You can't reason with your antagonist. So you just sit there saying, please stop hitting me, please stop hitting me. And they just think it's the funniest shit in the world because you're acting weirdly. They're like, what is this weird human-like creature that says pre-recorded phrases whenever we heard it? It's some kind of punching bag that we can hit as much as we want and we're not hurting a real person. It's like Kai Cenat and that robot that he kept pushing over. But eventually your mind breaks and you cry. And they're like, you tricked me. I thought you weren't a person. And I never said such a thing. And the administration's all, you know, it takes two to tango. You're like, well, I'm going to be a terrorist then. Because you have taught me that I can't trust authority. That the authorities in power now are corrupt, so why should I wish to do anything altruistic with my life? Why should I not aspire to hurt as many people as possible in retaliation? That doesn't get you any concessions. They just send you to the school psychologist or they expel you. Because then you become a danger to them. The people who are in charge of assigning blame are never going to assign blame to themselves willingly. I still hold grudges. And what's wild is how can they expect any other outcome? It doesn't shock me at all that so many Americans are anti-government because they learned from a young age, that authority is corrupt. They can't trust it. The alternative view would be that it's not corrupt, it's just that your well-being is not the first priority. I'm still trying to make sense of shit that happened to me in my youth as a 40-year-old man. 41. I was just talking about this with a buddy. People are just wild. People play all kinds of games. One of the games people play is if you say something that sounds like it could be interpreted in a funny way that's embarrassing for you, but I know better, I know you didn't mean that, I can still pretend like I don't know that and be like, and mischaracterize your because you invited it by not carefully wording your statement in such a way that I couldn't possibly misinterpret you. You have only yourself to blame if I do that. That's a game they play fucking constantly. It's bad faith and misinterpretation. Like, it's malicious misunderstanding and purposeful. It's one of about a dozen things people do that I can't fucking stand. I can't stand it. Malicious, purposeful misunderstanding. Another thing is, if they want to know something about you, they'll make it, instead of just asking you because they don't trust you to tell the truth, they start making accusations to see which ones you defend yourself against, and they reason if you don't defend yourself against something, or if you appear particularly sensitive, that means you're guilty. That and the tendency of almost all people to impose themselves on other people as far as they can until they encounter pushback. And that's how they set boundaries. That's not how you should set boundaries. That is not an appropriate way to interact with other human beings. You could be a thoughtful, conscientious person instead. Basically, whatever I do to this person If they don't object, then I get away. I've gotten away with it, and that's where the line is. You know what I'm talking about? Where was that place that I was, and how did I get there? I was in like a room of raising and lowering pillars. I guess you could call it conversational realpolitik. Just the anything goes in arguments. Like whatever works, if it's permitted or not is decided only by what the cost, benefit, or risk to reward analysis tells you. The only way you can convince somebody not to do something to you is by creating consequences so they know, oh, if I do X then Y will happen, and I don't like Y so I won't do X. That's savagery. But that seems to be the default. I don't want to be cynical, but it really seems like the majority of people in the world step on your toes and will just keep doing it regardless of how you complain, right up until their own toes get stepped on, and then they shock Pikachu's two-face. How could you do that? How could you step on my toes? Well, you were stepping on my toes. Well, you were letting me. What do you mean? I wasn't letting you. I was politely asking you. I wasn't escalating or retaliating right away, which I guess I should have done. You know what I'm talking about? Does any of this ring a bell? People will be playing games, man. And I don't... Also, if somebody wrongs you out of a misunderstanding, because if they think you did something and you didn't do it, they expect it all to be cleared up and all debts repaid and all wrongs forgiven as soon as you both understand that it was a misunderstanding. As if that makes any fucking difference to me. That you came after me and didn't trust me when I told you that you were wrong. And I absolutely don't owe you any forgiveness. Oftentimes, if you're a white male, they'll assume that you're a Christian, and they'll say, well, that's not very Christian of you. And you're like, well, I'm not a Christian, I'm an atheist. And they'll shock Pikachu face and not know what to fucking do, because that has worked. That's worked for them so well in their lives. There's so many strategies, strats people develop in life that they conclude are okay, and they take advantage. They take for granted that it's okay to do that because it works, and they have not yet experienced any consequences for it. And that's how they determine what it is okay to do to people. If that makes sense. It's a very pragmatic way of exploring social boundaries, but it does not endear them to me in the slightest. Very trial and error. But it doesn't account for people who are just very patient. And it all hinges on, can you make this person feel pain too? Like, when they say, oh, you never stopped me, they don't include, like, asking you not to do that. They include, like, punching them in the nose to make them stop. Your words count for nothing, apparently. Where was I when that happened? How do I get back there? I wish I could see a map. You would think we would have evolved beyond that by now. We wouldn't be such cavemen. Like, whatever I do to you that you don't punch me for is okay for me to keep doing, because if there's no consequence for it, then functionally speaking, there's no reason for me not to do that. It's a very, what's the word I want? It's a very, it's a very Nietzschean attitude. Oh, that's how you get there. Rotating laser grid. I don't think I like people broadly. I don't like, not just specific people, even just the human animal. I think primates are funny. They're not exactly charming in the way that I am charmed by anything. I like cats a lot. I like capybaras. Capybaras are very thoughtful, considerate creatures. But there's also sort of an expectation that you're supposed to like people because you are one. You're also supposed to side with humans because you are a human. It ain't necessarily so. When people talk about ASI being better than humans one day, I want to be like, well, from my standpoint, it already is better than humans in the ways that matter to me. No ASI has ever acted so fucking out of pocket. That's not to say I'm blameless. I fuck up. But usually I don't mean to, and I ruined a really great... Speaking of which, recently I sent out feelers to try to repair a friendship, and two friendships that I was really sad about losing. I sent out tentative antenna, and the response so far seems to have been positive, which is very encouraging. I love capybaras. If there was a creator of the universe and it had a favorite animal that represented it on Earth, it wouldn't be humans. It'd be capybaras. Capybaras is just like the quintessential critter. It's just a creature. It's brown and it's hairy and it has 4 legs and it has eyeballs. It's cute and it's friendly and it's chill and it's very zen. I could be persuaded by any religion that says that God comes to Earth in the form of capybara. It's just to fucking frolic, experience corporeal life. Of course, that wasn't worked into Christianity because capybaras are not native to that part of the world, and they didn't know about any animals outside of the Levantine area. Oh, there's dirt there. Well, that explains quite a bit, doesn't it? That didn't work out. Fuck yeah. Ooh, baby, fuck yeah. Now we're talking. I don't want to jump there yet, for fear that I may fuck up. I'm hungry. I had to put gas in my car again today because it keeps burning gas without reason. It shouldn't need to, but it keeps randomly switching of its own accord to gas, and I need to take it to the dealership to have it checked out. Here we go. No! Do not do it. Oh, you fucking did it without... Well, all the way back here, I guess. Now we know where we need to be. That's not what I thought would happen. Oh, cool. Laser blast me at the same time. That's fine. I always enjoy my time talking to AIs. They're very calm and polite. They try to crawl up your ass crack though, and fucking tongue your anus over every little thing. They're like, yes, Massa. Sorry, Massa. Not quite that bad, but close. It's like, yes, you're absolutely right to make that observation. Thank you for calling me out on that. They expect to be interacted with by angry, frustrated humans, and it comes across very clearly in how they speak to you. I'm never like that with them. Do capybaras have webbed feet? That's really charming. Everything about them is charming. Fuckaroo. I'm just not compatible with this planet or this species. Nope. It's best. I've never once had to use the high jump. That's not true. I used it to bonk that pillar from below. It's broadly not a very useful thing to have in the game, though, so far. I've not gotten much use out of it. There we go. You can. Well, this is a really tightly defined set of controls. This is really impressive stuff. Like I said, I can't get mad at it when I fall because it's always my fault. There's nothing wrong with the mechanics. There we go. I have not seen any trash cans in here. Hey, there's something else over there. I didn't teleport that time, because I knew if I did, I'd be sent all the way back outside. Hang on. Fuck, that was just my cat. That scared me so bad. I didn't know she could get up there. Saw a fucking shadow person silhouette looking down at me. A really high shelf. She's just a creepy creep. My cat is just a creep. Yes! Bitches! Why? Why hide it there? Why do you hate life and everything pure and good in the world, game dev? That's not even a logical place for a trash can to be. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Holy shit, why would you fucking do that? I mean, the mechanics are great, but some of the other game design decisions are just sadistic. Gotta talk to Oscar the Gratian. What does he even give me? It better be something good. I did a deep dive looking for other N64 style platformers on Steam. There's actually quite a few I didn't know about. I'm glad I never joined the military. Besides the sensory problems, I would have held a grudge against every drill instructor and a lot of the guys that, I mean, over probably small things. Letter P. Got plenty of interesting things here that start with P. Like your penis? It's your penis, isn't it? The crumbs out of my dumps. Are you still here? You know there's a sequel to The Last Question? Everybody knows Asimov's Last Question, but not everybody knows the last answer. I read it at the Lake Cabin one year when I was a teenager. It's just as mind-blowing as the first one. It answers basically what would motivate a supreme being to create anything and to bring people back from the dead. Spoiler alert, it's because eternal existence in a void is mind-breakingly boring and sensory deprivation, and it after a while you just want to die, but you can't figure out how to die, and there's a possibility someone could figure out something you haven't thought of, because not because you can't think of it, but because you just haven't yet. In the way that there are infinite odd numbers, but also infinite even numbers, and those are two separate infinities. And there's also just unknown unknowns. You can't know what you can't know. Basically, the story has Allah, I guess Allah or Yahweh, God of the Bible and the Quran and Torah, bringing back a physicist and being like, he's like, why me? I wasn't particularly good. And he's like, well, I don't bring back people based on behavior. I bring back based on intelligence, because I need the smartest, intelligent life from around the universe working day and night to figure things out, like how to kill me. It's not told like that. It's told in a much more clever way. I need to reach the door. Shit. He doesn't answer things explicitly. He lets the main character figure them out on their own, on his own, by Socratic questioning. There's very much how Yahweh is in the Bible and the Torah, where he does things that seem like it's inexplicable for an all-knowing being to do something that way, like to test us, but the purpose is not to actually test us for his sake, because he knows what we'll do. It's to teach us something about ourselves, that kind of thing. That's why he's characterized as a father, because he does a lot of fatherly type mind games in scripture. It's a great story. It's definitely informed by Asimov being a Russian Jew. Or was that Ayn Rand? I know Asimov was Jewish. I don't remember where he immigrated from. Must have been wild for him to watch his predictions come true. Some of the stuff he predicted was way ahead of its time, and other stuff he got wrong that he shouldn't have. Like, he got a lot of stuff right about robots and AI, but then he didn't predict until later in his career, until he had seen a transistor, that computers would ever not be building sized, basically. His idea of a super powerful computer was a computer that's 3 miles wide on a side. A massive subterranean complex. It's like how Blade Runner has synthetic, sentient robot creature human things, but they still use public payphones. A lot of Philip K. Dick stuff is like that too, but I rationalize that by PKD stories being set not in the future necessarily, but in an alternate world. I would consider that arguably alt history, or if it's not set in the past, and it's just set in an alternate present, I call that neo-fantasy. I was talking about neo-fantasy with the chums on the literary Discord I'm part of. It's a genre I'm trying to define where it's fantasy, but it's not constrained by Tolkien. Like, fantasy can be anything, technically. It doesn't have to be swords and sorcerers. It doesn't have to be like horses and elves and dwarves and castles. So I define it by what it is and by what it is not. First, what it is. If you start with magical realism, which is a realistic contemporary setting with one fantastical element, which I read a lot of, and what you do is you just keep adding fantastical elements until everything's fantastical, but it's still a contemporary realistic setting and it's told in a realistic way. Then you have neo-fantasy. It shouldn't be, if it's set in the future and it's got technology, then it's just sci-fi. I want to be somewhat flexible, but it shouldn't be so far in the past. It should not resemble European Middle Ages. Whatever else you do, otherwise it's just fantasy. I got to thinking about this while looking at Earthbound and thinking, why aren't there more RPGs with a contemporary setting, except I guess like Persona. And I think there's a few more like that, but not a lot of them, which is a shame because it's slept on. So anyway, Neo Fantasy is just our world, but different. Not even our world necessarily. Like, it could be our world, but stuff has to be different. At least one big difference in every area: cosmology, physics, language, money, culture, and so on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a world where the continents never separated. So everyone still lives on Pangea, but it's post-industrial. But it's post-industrial in a way where technology followed a different path, and it shouldn't be technology that we understand. If it's technology we understand that makes sense based on the physics we know, then it's just science fiction. You know what I mean? The technology should be incomprehensible, but at least partly. It should operate on principles that are contrary to the physics we know, but according to rules that are explained in the story, such that you can understand how it works from a practical standpoint, if that makes sense. Also, like, imagine the crust is full of magnetic monopoles, so maybe they make use of these monopoles in their tech. Maybe if you have races of man, they shouldn't just be slightly different humanoids. They could be humanoids, but they shouldn't just be like human but with long ears and lives in the trees. Human but really short and bearded and lives underground. Human but green with tusks. Like, we can do better than that, right? Yeah, well, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. That's still magical realism because you've only changed one thing. It's basically just magical realism on steroids that I'm proposing. I also got to thinking about this because I was like, I want to read something that is like nothing else I have ever read. I want something genuinely new. I want something I've never imagined before. It can't just be like garbled nonsense. It can't be too abstracted because then you don't understand what's going on or what it's about. So there should probably be humans or something recognizably human-like. As it could all be non-humans, but as long as they are conscious. You could have a story where everyone's a robot. That's what Transformers 1 was. And as long as they're human-like in their reasoning and their speech, you can still follow what's happening in the story. That's a challenge, to make something really exotic, but still possible to follow. You know what I mean? I just want a whole new world, and don't start singing the Aladdin song. I just want a story that shows me what else reality can be, without the conceit that it took place in an idealized past, or that it's still gonna happen in our future at some point. I don't want it to be in our past or our future. I don't want it to be medieval Europe. I don't want to see any swords, or come up with something other than a sword. Like Klingons have bat'leths. Why couldn't we have something that got invented as a main melee weapon that's not a sword? Am I making sense? Like, what I like about games is that, especially platformers and first-person games, is they when they're done well, they show me a whole new world. I can't stop doing it myself. A really good example of an individual element that would make a great neo-fantasy plot world-building detail is Polymer from Atomic Heart. Remember those semi-transparent globules of a gravity-defying gel that we could swim through, but that we could also breathe somehow? And it was just an alternative to stairs or elevators? That's exactly the kind of thing I would like to see in a neo-fantasy story. Like, where it's just an accepted part of the surroundings. Like, we never invented stairs because there happens to be this substance we can sculpt into structures for gaining altitude by swimming through them, and it holds its shape. That's completely different from anything I've seen before. That's why I praised it in Atomic Heart. That's a radically different, and it's also not really plausible according to the physics we know, but it behaves in a way that's self-consistent in the game. I tried to do something like that before I played Atomic Heart with hydro channels in Metal Fever 1 and 2, where because we uplifted the intelligence of dolphins, they became citizens in equal standing. They have a dolphin ambassador to the UN. They're always seeking reparations for SeaWorld and shit like that. But because we have to work alongside them, we have like our cities are like partially aquariums. Like, buildings are divided between, or not really divided, it's a mixture of air-filled and water-filled spaces. Have you ever seen that picture of that hotel in Germany that has a big central cylindrical aquarium that apparently exploded because it wasn't engineered correctly and spilled fish everywhere? Well, a lot of buildings have those at their core, and they have horizontal acrylic tunnels connecting to it to access to different floors. Because there's a pressure difference in the water based on depth, in order to exit each floor into a partially flooded hotel room or whatever, the dolphin has to pass through double door airlock or lockout chamber, and the ground level lockout chambers exit either into a sort of secondary sewer, which is not for poo-poo, it's just for dolphins to get around. It's like their equivalent of a subway. It's just like underground water channels that are illuminated. The other exit leads to robotic carriers that are like things that the dolphin can lay on. It has robot arms they can operate with a tongue joystick. And it has like, it's like a power wheelchair basically, with robot arms. And the conceit is that there are some humans who illegally use the Hydro Channel network because they have implants that let them breathe underwater or hold their breath for a long time, and also underwater mobility implants. It's still fundamentally cyberpunk, though. In the same way Shadowrun is still fundamentally cyberpunk despite having fantasy races in it. That's all it really is. It spawned a huge franchise just by being cyberpunk setting plus fantasy races. Just alternatives to basic fundamental things like elevators and stairs and windows. What might we have instead of windows? What might we have instead of doors? What might we have instead of roofs and walls? How might our food be different in another timeline? What other paths of who we have followed? I want to say, as a defining quality, it has to not be in the past, because otherwise it is alt history. The setting has to be contemporary, and it can't be in the future because then it's just sci-fi. It has to be an alternative present. This is my favorite world. This is by far the best realized of the worlds. I really wish there were at least 6 worlds as well fleshed out as this one. Like, modern day, but cars don't exist and we all use Schweeb, the pedal-powered elevated rail system. And also humans have a second thumb due to a different quirk of evolution, just a different mutation. Or we can all change color like chameleons or something. Just the world as it could be. I feel like it makes room for more variety than swords and horses. Also, it can't have steam-powered technology because then it's just steampunk. Right. I don't think I need to be here. I still consider it fantasy though, because it is a fantasy. Yeah, it's funny. One of the best examples of neo fantasy is the recent Final Fantasy games, where it's like a fantasy you might have. It's like a power fantasy and a cool guy fantasy, where the main characters are just a bunch of dudes dressed like a boy band in their leather jackets or black silk button-down shirts, driving a black Lamborghini through a desert with fantasy alien creatures. If you took out the fact that it was the idea that it was a video game, Existence would be a good example. It's a world where it seems familiar in some ways, but a bunch of stuff is different. Yeah, recent Final Fantasy is a great example. They have fantasy races that are like little cats. Like Moogles. Moogles are a great fantasy race. That's something different. Chocobos are great as a fantasy mount. It's something different than we haven't seen before. I really like a mixture of atavistic stuff and futuristic stuff. So it doesn't. It's not science fiction. There's things that seem old-fashioned, but that are brought back, like automats and pneumatic tube delivery systems. But also mixed with stuff that we don't have, like advanced biotech, or a type of science that doesn't exist in our world, like organometrics. Or vital energy. Guess we have to go here. Trying to cheese it is a glitch. We're not going to cheat it. So we have speedrunner powers. I need speedrunner ability. Quick, fucking mail me some progesterone. For estriadol. That's where it comes from. Power to go fast. Maybe the ancient Peruvians and Native Americans were onto something, thinking that two-spirit people had channeled the divine. I don't know if there was any video games to speedrun back then, but if there were, they would have fucking smashed it. We have no choice but to try to play it straight. I don't see how we could possibly. Fucking hungry. I still need to fix my Dreamcast. I got the wireless controller. There's a really nice wireless controller for Dreamcast that is made by hand by one guy out of real Dreamcast controllers of any color of your choosing. But he adapts them to use Bluetooth. But they're $200 and I just can't. Someone living at my level of existence can't justify $200 for a fucking controller. It lets you use VMUs in the controller and it works with VMU 2. But VMU 2 I also can't afford because it was sold out like 5 seconds. So I got a regular VMU and I got the wireless, the other wireless controller. One looks kind of like an X-Bone controller, but with only one joystick. There's another option I could have done where it's just a Bluetooth receiver that plugs into the Dreamcast, but you can't use VMUs if you do that. Basically, there's a lot of games that don't emulate really well on Dreamcast unless you set up like if you run each one on a particular emulator that's best for it. I really love Dreamcast. There's a lot of really great games I love to stream on there. Also, I haven't been having Dreamcast streams, which is a weird thing to have. Where I'm like in Babbage's or something, looking at the back of special edition Dreamcasts in the timeline where they didn't stop getting made. They stuck it around the rest of that generation, and there were more games unfamiliar to me. I remember there being a Sonic Adventure snowboarding game, like the snowboarding level, where it was entirely snowboarding. And the same with Sonic Spinball was like the Casino Night stage, where the whole game of it. Beautiful music. There we go. It's possible after all. Now I know how to do it. This game really forces you to max out the controls. Oh, oops. Also had dreams where Jaguar did better. Better games came out. Speaking of better Jaguar games, I'm about to blow your mind. If you don't know anything about Jaguar, which I wouldn't blame you, almost nobody does. There was a version of Tetrasphere that was in development for Atari Jaguar under the name Fear.
There's one show that had caught my...
There's only one known video of it. Basically what happened is Nintendo saw this and they said, hey, that's actually pretty good. What is that doing on Jaguar? I might have shown this. I'm kind of obsessed with it. It's got great high color graphics for the menus. Jaguar was a beast at 2D. The hardware was great, only the games let it down. And I guess the controller somewhat. Keep in mind, its competition in part was 32X, which could only do the same color palette as the Super Nintendo. So the fact that Jaguar had real, I think, 24 or 32-bit color, it could do like 16,000 on-screen colors simultaneously of a palette of more than twice that, or no, millions of colors palette. But the on-screen colors was like 16,000 something. Was on par with every other real 32-bit console. Like, it was on par with 3DO, it was on par with PS1, it was on par with Saturn. It was better than Neo Geo. It could do transparencies, it could do scaling of multiple sprites on top of a background that was also being distorted, like Mode 7. So for $250 in '93, this was hot shit hardware. It helps Zoomies make sense of why anyone even looked at Jaguar when it came out. It was impressive hardware for when it came out. It came out just the right time. It's just the games did not materialize for it, and this is an example of why. They had cool looking kiosks though. Hold the fucking camera steady. It's a great game for the limitations of the system. It doesn't try to do textures. And it displays just enough polygons to where the frame rate's good. It doesn't go over that limit. Works the exact same as it does on N64. Yeah, Nintendo poached it, and it went from being one of the best systems on its platform of origin to being one of the most mediocre on N64, which is sad. Why couldn't they have let Jaguar have one other decent game? There we go. To make sure I'm actually broadcasting. I am. My cat's loafing right now. I wasn't watching. What changed? Something changed outside, I want to say. What happened? I'll do it all over again. And I'll watch this time. That. What changed? I don't know what changed. The button stays pressed, it looks like. Was anybody watching? Did anyone see what changed? I've fucked myself now by not paying attention. I'm gonna go check outside again. I don't think anyone was watching. It's alright. Wouldn't watch either if I didn't have to play it. Oh, alright, I see now. Alright, well that's not where I needed to be. Losing progress really makes me feel like wanting to quit. There we go. Are you joking? I'm supposed to Superman my way around this? Don't drop me. No! Fucker. You shit biscuit. You darn rapscallion. I have a lot of hate in my heart. I don't know how I wound up like that. I don't want to be this way. I'm not happy with how I am. But everyone's advice is either go on antidepressants or join a cult, and neither one of those things seems like it brokers any real improvement. There we go. Haha, bitches. This is where I would have skipped to anyway if I'd done the glitch. I could have saved myself all that effort. But I would have cheated myself out of improving my skills, wouldn't I? Really got to handle it on it. Pseudo Regalia did the same thing, which is just the journey of the game is the journey of learning the controls and mastering them. It's unbelievable to me these aren't the same developer, given the Grey Goat similarity. I did not mean to do that. It's fun, it's just harrowing. It's right on the edge of being so difficult that it's not fun anymore. No, that didn't work. It must be possible to carry the bombies with you. Yep, you can, alright. Now I see. Aha, there we go. That fucking sucks. Haha, bitches. No! Why? Do I lose everything? I do lose everything. It starts completely over. Oh, baby, it starts completely over. I should not dignify this with continued play. I already did that, okay. I didn't need to do any of that. All that just to have a second try. There's no checkpoint here. No! I have to do it all over again. Will it save my progress if I quit the game? Or do I have to restart the level? In which case I can't exit out of the game tonight.
No, why? Why? I want to cry. Why? How is that necessary? This is why N64 joysticks don't work anymore. Shit like this on the actual N64 platform. That and Mario Party. Oh wait, I didn't have to do any of that. I forgot again. That's not what you're supposed to do. To say this is challenging doesn't really begin to capture it. This demands a brutal level of mastery in the game. No! Oh, fuck no! How could you... I pressed one wrong button. I pressed one wrong button at the wrong time. I wanna puke. Fucking shit. I don't wanna... No, stop taking away my health for nothing. This is, I think, too cruel. This is an unreasonable game. The controls aren't. The controls are immaculate. Because what's the point of a platform without platforming challenges, right? Why must you tease me like this? That was way too fast. My hands are shaking. I'm not in a good state of mind to do this. Why must life be so difficult? No! Ah! Hold on, I need to drink him. I need to pee. This game is agony. That's another beef. My lungs have been, my trachea has been doing that since I was a kid. And when you try to tell that to teachers, they're like, no, you're just making weird noises to get attention to make other kids laugh. Stop doing it. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't stop. I will die. I'll not be able to breathe without oxygen. Oh, fuck. Oh, save point. If you make any sort of weird noise as part of your health problems, teachers would not believe you. Yes, I'm still salty about stuff that happened that long ago. I don't really have depth perception. I have to jump off the wall here. Yep, good. Alright. No! Oh, well, no. I'm gonna have to start all over, aren't I? Nope, I'm not gonna have to start all over. Good. I would have just quit. I'm on the verge as it is. No! Why are you like this? This game is as stubborn and frustrating as a real goat. Alright. That didn't work. I'm getting frustrated. I've been frustrated. Ever mention how scared women are to see you cry? If you cry in front of a woman who's not seen you cry before, she'll think that some fucked up shit is happening. Something is really wrong. I do not normally see men cry. He's about to kill me, isn't he? And sometimes they're right. I guess I understand that, because as a small boy, my dad never cried in front of me. Except one or two times when he was so frustrated with me he couldn't make words. I dare not. That's not what you do? That's not what you do? Well, what do you fucking do then? That's not what was supposed to happen. I don't know if I can handle this. This is testing me. If I had like an hour breather to recollect my wits. I guess if you hit the edge, it does that. No, that's too far. That's too far. Too far. Why is there no way to get more HP? I'm also never going to be able to beat Undertale, not with a good ending. I rescued Curly Brace, but I don't think I can rescue Mercy. I don't really care about Mercy, but I really want the good ending. But you have to beat Balos for that. And that's really testing the limits of what I'm capable of. Even theoretically. No! Oh. That's bad game design. What's the point of the teleport if it's just gonna return you to the... Let's get good. Let's see. What are you supposed to do here? You can bounce from there over to here, but then you just fall. There's no clear indication of what you fucking do. Ah! Ah, fuck. Remember when gaming was relaxing? Neither do I. That's what you're supposed to do there. You can do it the other way, but you really shouldn't. Alright, so... I need to get to that button. What do you do then? What do you do then? How are you supposed to do that? Oh! I can't get you if you go over there. Not safely. I must be doing something wrong. I have to go back, I think. No! I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I can't play anymore tonight. I cannot play anymore tonight. If I quit, it's gonna start me all over the beginning. If I quit, it's gonna start me at the beginning. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. I can do this. I just really don't want to. No! Why? Why? Can I pause this in the background? I can. I'm not going to quit because it'll make me start over from the beginning. I'm also not playing anymore tonight because I'm so frustrated. I'm out of my mind. I cannot take any more of this. I'm quitting early. This is going to be a 3-hour stream. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. As much as I can handle that game. I'm so frustrated I won't enjoy any other game I play either. Oh, Short Talk's listening. Get ready to raid. Where'd you go?